that you should support someone. That's
Right.
it's just basically the bare minimum, like for like being able to participate in the political system and like being a decent human being. But that is yeah. She's don't look.
Oh, and
Step
speaking
back,
of
people,
basic
please.
decent human beings,
Yeah.
why are some Republicans in Missouri against allowing a woman an
Oh
exception
my
to an abortion if
God.
she's been raped or incest or, why are they against that? Is it because that's rampant in their culture and they just don't want their friends to get in trouble?
Yeah.
Because that's what I'm starting to think at this point.
I'm starting to agree with you. Like now, the line that they're using is, "God does not make mistakes." What the
Well, you
hell
know
is that
what?
supposed to mean? My God,
Okay,
does that mean
first of
God
all,
endorses rape? Is that what they're saying? For Christ's sake, my
if
God.
God made the human body, why would he make one hole that takes in air and food? Did you know that our eyes are so terrible that we only see in 4 spectrums of light?
Yeah,
We're missing out on a lot of stuff.
yeah,
Birds see all sorts of. Did you know that the sky is purple
yeah.
and we can't see it? So our eye translates it as blue because our eyes suck so bad. Don't tell
Oh
me
my,
your God doesn't make mistakes. But first of all, your God didn't make me. But if he did, he really fucked up.
absolutely. Oh my God, this is just like so. Yeah, no exceptions for rape or incest. And it just goes to show you that in a thoroughly disgusting, immoral way, again, this is not about abortion. This is not about children. This is not about, saving lives. This is about controlling women and forcing them, regardless of the situation, to give birth against their will and making them, de facto slaves. I mean, this is atrocious and disgusting, and Missouri, oh my God, they need to shape up, and the Republican Party in that state needs to just be called out, and the Democrats need to rebuild and fight on that score, and they need to trumpet this from the mountaintops so that people know. I like, oh boy. I mean, they need to repeat this and what is going on here, because like no person who like hears this and sees this and who has a shred of human decency could vote for these people. It's just absolutely atrocious to me.
It's a tell on the voters. I keep saying that. We don't like to attack voters. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You are who your friends are, who you hang out with, who your idols are.
Yeah.
And I see you.
Yeah.
Oh, Idaho. Somebody needs to call Idaho and ask them if they're okay.
Yes.
Because they have a representative named Heather Scott. I am not shitting you. She is in fear of cannibalism rising because of a form of burial that people who are, climate change and, orientated and understand that,
Right.
Everything has to be cyclical. It's a sustainable burial where they kind of
Right.
just put you in a little pod and put you in the ground.
Right. Yeah.
And she's afraid, Heather is afraid
Right.
that there's going to be a rise in cannibalism. Okay, first of all, Zombieland doesn't exist. The Walking Dead is a show.
She's seen too many episodes of the Walking Dead. Apparently, like what she actually saw was some game show in which people were pranked into believing that the sausage that they were eating was human flesh. And so she saw that and she connected these two things and said, "Oh my God, they're gonna send us back into Soylent Greenland. I gotta do something about this, fellers."
These people have no ability to tell the difference between reality and fantasy. I know that back in the late 90s, early 2000s, reality shows were really big because Hollywood didn't want to pay for sitcoms anymore.
Yep.
And reality stars are way cheaper and stupider. But this woman is an elected official and she is unable to tell the difference between television and reality. So Idaho, are you okay? Do you need help?
Idaho is not okay. I know because my state is adjacent to Idaho, and like the folks in the next county over from us, and we're in southern, more rural Oregon, and the next county over from us, I believe, maybe it's a county over from that, has, and this is where the people stood out on the streets with rifles waiting for the Antifa buses to come because they were told on Facebook that Antifa was sending buses of people around to them. And so they
Was JFK driving the bus, or was he still in Dallas? I don't know.
JFK Jr. was probably driving the bus, and they were probably all wearing little foil helmets. But this is they want to join Idaho. They want to, like, there are a number of very sparsely populated eastern Oregon counties that they don't like the liberals up in Portland, and they want to join with the anti-cannibalists in Idaho, apparently. So I know these folks. I've had dealings with these folks. Yeah, they've got some problems, and they were jumping on the abortion ban thing too in the wake of the Dobbs decision, and you can see the fantasy mentality that they have here. And it pervades their decision-making process. They don't understand the difference between what they can see in front of them with their own eyes and what they convince themselves of in a fever dream. And that's why you get decisions like the abortion bans. That's why you get decisions like the various states that have, taken books off the shelves or banned African American studies, and that's why you have, like, people worried that zombies are going to eat them.
Yes. And folks, please remember, I am not telling you who to vote for, but I am asking you to please vote because they do.
Yes.
They have all this time on their hands. And it is producing what is coming out of their mouths, and what is coming out of their representatives is an insight into what they're thinking. And this has no place in government, because government is not supposed to be entertaining.
No,
you're not supposed to.
Exactly,
it's not supposed to be fun. It's not WWE. It's government. It's boring. It's bureaucratic. It's just functioning so that we can all do our jobs and not worry.
Yeah.
And for some reason, it's all of a sudden, I guess. I mean, Trump is not the first time we put an actor into the office, because, Reagan and Arnold Schwarzenegger, although I don't want to lump him into that, because I think that he's kind of learned his lesson since then and come out of that experience being a better person. At least what I've heard of him lately. He was a terrible governor.
No, he was a terrible governor, but now that he's, like, withdrawn, I don't think he's doing too many movies these days. He's withdrawn more from Hollywood. He's withdrawn more from politics. It is amazing an effect that has on stabilizing your sanity, isn't it? I mean,
he has become very empathetic and very self-aware. He has recently come out on podcasts about his experience growing up with a father who participated in Nazi Germany.
Yeah.
And how he has grown and how he has learned his wrongs. And I know that he was a dick to his ex-wife with the nanny and all of that.
Yeah.
But seeing somebody come full circle, seeing a character arc out of somebody's life is always amazing to me.
Yeah.
It reminds me of why we love Tony Stark, because over 10 movies, we watch that guy go from a douchebag to sacrificing his life to save the world. We want people to have that character arc throughout the course of their life. If we're lucky enough to be alive, like, I am, throughout Arnold Schwarzenegger's life, and watch him go from, Muscle Beach to a very insightful, not Republican at all sounding, sane, self-aware person. It's amazing.
That's right. And redemption is possible. Look, I started out my life, in a very right-wing family with a very right-wing mentality as a teenager. And I am telling you, like, once you live life and experience it and process it and get knocked around by circumstance a couple of times, it is possible for, and talk to people, it is possible to change. It really is, and I truly believe that forgiveness and redemption, whether you consider that as a thing that comes through religion or spirituality or just basic humanity, is an important thing that we should be aware of. So, every time you encounter, someone with a red hat or a bad attitude in your life, I truly believe, keep in mind that this is someone who could turn based on their circumstances, and their, but for the grace of God or for the universe, go I. Because people are shaped by circumstances that it's difficult to understand. Even the cannibal lady in Idaho, she too could turn around, be redeemed, see the light, and join with us in this effort to help and lift up humanity rather than degrade humanity. And I think ultimately that is something that we have to strive for. In spite of the fact that we know, yes, there's so many like silly people, and we talk about them all the time. It's important to keep in mind that, they're human beings too, and we want them to do well as a part of all of humanity doing well. And I think that's something important to keep in mind. And in the meantime, here on Facepalm America and on This Week Again, which Susanne Posel hosts, we can make fun of them, and as we should, while respecting their humanity, because laughter is part of humanity. I believe so.
It's what keeps me sane. So,
Susanne, thank you so much for being with us again on Facepalm America.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for listening to the program today. I want to thank Ace Elson and Rosabelle Hine, who are the producers of this show. Please share a link to this episode with your buddies on social media, wherever you hang out with them, whether that's Facebook or Twitter or Instagram or whatever it happens to be. It helps grow our program. And until next time, enjoy the day.